Here's something I want us to think about shopping when we think about our consumer brain. And if you own a side business right now, one of the best things you can understand is understand human behavior and psychology. Scarcity and FOMO are used a lot. What is scarcity? Well, scarcity means a lack of something, and when they use that to their advantage in the marketplace. FOMO is fear of missing out. And so Black Friday leverages scarcity and FOMO to the nth degree. How are we leveraging the same psychology and the same human behaviors within our side business? As you know, we help ambitious employees learn how to build and scale a profitable side business. New show is here and new episodes, and there was something I really wanted to share. If you've never looked at the history of Black Friday, we're going to get into all of that today. One of the ways that I can definitely help you out is our brand new Side Hustle Secrets course is now available. You can go to the link in the description below, be able to click there, get into the new Side Hustle Secrets. Instead of buying, all of these presents and things that have no value, why don't you actually invest in yourself, learn how to actually continue to build you a profitable side business? And then that way, when things like this come around, you don't get caught up in all of the ideas and scams and everything else that happen throughout the year around this time. And so, yes, I wanted to talk to you today about the biggest scam that I have just gotten an opportunity to really dive into around Black Friday. Yes, Black Friday is a scam. I said it. I know you're like, Chris, that is terrible. And what does that have to do with what you put on your thumbnail? Everything. Some of you have never heard of the name Jay Gould. Not spelled G-O-L-D, but G-O-U-L-D. That's right. Jay Gould. This goes way back until the 1860s, if I'm not mistaken correctly. There's a link down in the description. You can go read the whole story for yourself. But Black Friday originated back then from somebody who was greedy, who found a way to drive and drop the price of gold and used it to manipulate others in many powerful seats. And so I wanted to actually just show you something really quickly, and then I'm going to actually talk to you about what you need to be doing as far as your side business is concerned. How do you make sure that you show up the right way and that history doesn't repeat itself even with what you're building today? So I know you're like, man, that's a lot in this day, and I just want to shop and click and buy. I get it. But sometimes when you understand the history of something, you better know how to approach it the next time that it comes around. Is that fair? All right, so check this out. I want to show you guys this. So if you click on the link, you will notice that on the History Channel's website, it talks about the Black Friday gold scandal. You will notice a gentleman here. His name is Jay Gould. See, I told you thought I was probably kidding, but this is a real story. Click the link in the description if you want to learn more. And if you're watching this live, say live. If you're listening to the replay of this, feel free to just say replay and then let me know as you read this story what you learned about the history of Black Friday. Well, this particular gentleman, Jay Gould, was a duo between him and Jim Fisk. They were presidents of the Erie Railroad, and while Ulysses S. Grant was in office, there's a long story that you'll learn about what happened in the 1960s, but they came up with this really cool scheme to drive and drop the price of gold, since it was the number one thing that we used for currency, for value, for export, tons of different things, right? And all of this hinged around the Civil War. Well, one of the things that was interesting was that he didn't just go through, using gold and coming up with this great manipulation plan. And he actually used the son-in-law of Ulysses S. Grant. This dude, really came up with a really interesting plot in order to be able to do what? He wanted to be able to leverage gold in a way that he would put his investment in gold and be able to drive the price of it so that, of course, he collected on his plot and scheme. So there's a whole story there. Again, the link is in the description. Go read the story for yourself. But I wanted to just kind of give you that gist of that's basically what this story is about, right? And that's the real history of what we know today as Black Friday, okay? But there's also more to the story. Well, in the 1960s, Black Friday also became another kind of a stain on American history because of what happened actually in the suburbs of Philly. Yes, it involved shopping. Yes, it involved police. There was a whole story around getting rid of this, what happened on Black Friday. And again, you can go look all this stuff up. This is real. Now, what's interesting is how as retailers were looking to get rid of the term Black Friday. Why? Because it had very bad history. And they really didn't like it, and it left a negative kind of light on the idea. And all retailers care about, like today, as you even listen to this episode, is buy, sell, discount, discount, discount. Well, I want you to know something before you think that this is just my perfect time to get a deal. Just keep in mind what has happened over the last several months. The biggest one is this word called inflation. And see, most people think, well, inflation only applies to like these larger items. No, inflation is every single product. Like right now, when you walk into the grocery store today, here's the way I want you to think about it. I want you to think about the moment you walk into those automatic doors and you turn around the corner and you see the whole grocery store. I want you to think about every single product. They said that inflation is up 7.7%. It's not just one thing. It's every single product is up over 7.7%. So what does that mean? If you were to spend $100, right, in whatever you were going to go buy using $100, just make it easy math, right? That means that every single thing from a grocery store to an online store to your favorite retail store for clothes, shoes, hats, bags, whatever you're going to buy, every product, the price is up 7.7%. So when you hear 10 or 15 or 20% off, it's really not off. It's the fact that the prices have gone up so much. What they're really after every Black Friday and Cyber Monday is what? Volume. So if you spend more, well, then clearly they've made a larger profit, which keeps the company in the black. That's kind of what we've gone to. Red means we're in trouble, right? We're lacking. In the black means we're doing good. Life is great. Business is profitable and all those other things. Just a little quick history lesson, right? I want to give you a little game, right? But here's something that I want us to think about. Given the real history of how we got to Black Friday, and thanks Jay Gold for all of what you've done, and you and Jim, and all the different things. And when you really read the story, like seriously, go read the story. It's pretty fascinating. I like history, so I just like learning about things. But I was curious as to like, where do we come up with Black Friday from? I know what the stock market tells us Black Friday means. I want to know where it originated from. I finally able to get that and provide that to you. Listen, I'm a giving person. It's the giving mood, right? I wanted to give you that. So listen, here's something I want us to think about when we think about shopping, when we think about our consumer brain. And if you own a side business right now, one of the best things you can understand is understand human behavior and psychology. It's one of the best things you can go study right now. You might be like, what does that have to do, Chris, with just buying my child this gift that they've been asking for in this PS5, for Christmas, and I'm just trying to find one? Everything. Hey, you're enjoying this episode, right? Well, there's something I wanted to share with you. Have you ever heard of the triangle of value? Well, it's something that I actually teach in my Side Hustle Secrets course. See, you actually have a profession, you have practices, and you live by a set of principles. That is your triangle of value. Well, within that triangle of value, you are so valuable in the marketplace that what you know in your head, somebody else is willing to pay you in order to be able to get that information so that they can do the same thing that you're doing. But you didn't know that until now. Well, I've created something just for you. I got a course called the Side Hustle Secrets course. If you go to thesidehustlesecrets.com, you can go ahead and get into my course. I teach you how to use that triangle of value and actually be able to create you a great online profitable business. But here's the cool part. Along with that, I show you my core 4 strategies and how to be able to take that triangle of value and turn it into 4 different streams that you can be able to leverage to be able to build you a great side business and reduce the financial stress. Because listen, I know you're enjoying your job. I know you've done all the work that you needed to get where you are today. But I also know this: between layoffs, firings and downsizings. It's bound to happen. It happened to me twice. I don't want it to happen to you. Or at least if it does, you have something to fall back on and you don't have to hurt you and your family. I know you got a lot of information in your head and I know you could scale it. And I know there's somebody else out there who is happy, willing to pay you to get that information. Well, let me show you how to do it. Go to thesidehustlesecrets.com, get the course, and let's work together to build out and build you what you need for you to have a great side business. Let's get back to the episode. Because scarcity and FOMO are used a lot. What is scarcity? Well, scarcity means a lack of something. And when they use that to their advantage in the marketplace, FOMO is, fear of missing out. And so Black Friday leverages scarcity and FOMO to the nth degree, to the point that they open up at midnight. Physical stores open up at midnight in order for people to come shop. Now, here's the funny part. They are not open at midnight. In fact, close in my little town, 9 p.m. every night, faithfully, right? Without fail. But somehow, because they don't want people to miss out, every year, same time, they open at midnight. And stores open at midnight for you to capture all these sales. Why am I bringing this up? What does this have to do with your side business? Well, here's the thing I want all of us to think about. I want all of us to think about how are we leveraging the same psychology and the same human behaviors within our side business. Did you have a Black Friday sale? And by the way, I want to make sure that it's something for real, that it's not a scam like Jay Gold, right? But did you leverage the fear of missing out in your side business? Because people don't like missing out. And it's used everywhere. Everywhere. When I say everywhere, I literally mean, I want you to understand your grocery store does that all the time. Your favorite event, your favorite concert, the shoes that you're looking to buy right now online, they're using FOMO. How do we know this? The next time you log into Nike or the next time you log into Amazon, you're going to see a little footnote just before you check out. It's right below the button and it says how many are left. Interesting. Now, the truth of the matter is there's probably more left. But in order to get you to click that button and buy now, they show you a number dropping. You ever been on another website and it'll tell you, you'll see a little pop-up button that says such and such just purchased this item in Cucamonga, Texas, right? You ever seen that? You ever seen where they show you like, not only where the person purchased, but then they show you how many left. And then what they do is they put a timer on top of it. Listen, this is all about human behavior and psychology. So what could I do? What could I do because I just got a small business. I'm not really doing numbers like that. Well, one of the things that happens is they prep your mind for what is coming. How did they start prepping your mind? Ladies and gentlemen, how many of us can be honest and say we even saw Black Friday sales, early Black Friday deals in October? Prepping your brain to purchase. Stores started giving really cool stories about what deals people got because they were on their website early and shopping. You have to understand the whole goal of today's version of Black Friday is human behavior and psychology. Drive up the volume, even though you've been feeling it at the gas pump in the grocery store. I mean, my mother-in-law, for crying out loud, is telling me that the price of pie crust has doubled. So that 7.7% inflation is not one product or just one line of products. It's every single product that we put our hands on. Everything that you're trying to buy right now online, everything that you see, everything, the ice cream that you're going to purchase while you're out, the Starbucks that you're going to purchase, everything, the price is up. So are you really getting a deal on Black Friday? No, not really. But what they know to do also is a little word that starts with a V. And if you weren't here for Massive Action Monday this past Monday, we started a new series. And one of the things I talked to you about was the triangle of value. The value that you bring comes in 3 different parts: your profession, your practices, and your principles. That actually determines your value in the marketplace. The value to your job. It's not your title. Hint, hint, okay? But what you have to understand is, instead of them being able to push prices because they know inflation is here and nobody can argue that it's not here, well, they had to start showing you the value of purchasing the product from this store versus that store. So how can you leverage this in your side business? Start talking value, start leveraging human behavior and psychology, and how can you create a little bit of FOMO from people in order to be able to get them to drive to purchase your product and or your service. Okay? That's something you should consider. And by the way, just because it doesn't happen on this day of Black Friday does not mean you can't leverage it the entire holiday season. You absolutely should. You should. It's part of human behavior. By the way, there's a lot of human behavior studies that are used and help change the way retailers market to us all the time. They use psychology in order to be able to know what will get someone to purchase, how to get somebody not to purchase, how to get somebody in now, how to get people to wait. Like, there's a ton of psychology in this stuff. And so what I want you to understand is that it's Black Friday, yes, and there's a lot going on and there's a lot to share. But you can leverage this time and this season within your product and service. And you should, because everybody else is doing it, right? And it's no secret that this stuff is being used, but to the average person, they have no clue why they get so antsy and why people have been now conditioned to want to stay up till midnight, get in a car, pack the whole family, even the 2-year-old, drive to a parking lot, right? Sit in the parking lot until midnight to go purchase a bunch of items that, by the way, have been marked up a lot because of inflation, and then a little bit taken off so that you feel like you got a deal and that you were getting some value. It's all human behavior and psychology. Thank you, Jay Gold, for being such a team player in history. You and Jim Fisk for creating chaos in the market. And again, if you don't believe me, just go read the entire article on history.com. I attached it to this show. And listen, it's a real situation, and it really did happen. And one of the things we have to understand is that history is always trying to remind us of something. And I think when your personal life and your business, where were you last year with your side business? Did you get into this holiday season? Were you able to leverage? Did you understand psychology? Are you studying psychology and human behavior? Because if you're not, you're going to be behind the 8 ball, right? You don't have to be a big retailer to understand how to leverage these things. Even if you're only having a product, a high ticket product for you and your side business, it might be, $5,000. Well, there's a way to get people to purchase something that's $5,000, $10,000, or $50,000. It's happening every day. The key is, if you understand human behavior and psychology, you can win, even in retail. So whatever your product or service is, go study that. Go read that story that I provided. Thank you guys so much for being here. Continue to enjoy your day. Hey, spend smart. I would ask you to also invest in yourself. As you know, we do have the Side Hustle Secrets course, and it's available right now. So instead of buying a bunch of trinkets and things that'll be thrown away out the door and will really add no real value, I think the real best value that you could offer yourself is knowledge. The ability. One of the things we also looked at too was the definition, of things. And that was one of the things that we actually did. And you'll be surprised to know that when you go look at the definitions of things, you find out some very, very interesting definitions. The ability to do something well. It's a great, great definition. And I think that we should all learn to look at that. Go look that up, by the way. I want you to just go look up, definition of value. And you'll see, our ability to be able to do something well is really important. And we should all leverage it. We should all, look at that. And that's what the not the definition of value, the definition of skill is the ability to do something well. You and I have the ability to do something well. Go live your best life right now. Take the skill, the ability to do something well, and do it over and over and over again. I hope you've been enjoying your family. Continue to enjoy your family. but I wanted to drop this on you. If you like this one, share this, talk about it, leave me a comment down below. Hey, also, leave us a review. Reviews actually help other people just like you find this show. And we're trying to get to over 1,000 reviews across all of our platforms, so we would definitely appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great day. Take care, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Peace.